Well, I'm going shopping. And what am I shopping for? Back window for my Dodge. See, this truck right here would have been the perfect match because it's tinted, it's got the slider window, but look, some moron broke the right panel out of this window. I wonder if they did it with a 1988 Yamaha Moto 4 four-wheeler. Hey there, thanks for turning down my road. If this is your first time here, my name's Carl. My little brother and I both work for local farmers full-time, but we both also farm together with our cattle herd and our hay operation. If you don't have the joy of farming yourself, I'd love to help you experience it through this channel. Whatever your background, you found the right place. This is Dodge Brothers Farm and Ranch. So I'm kind of in car heaven right now. Maybe this is the other place, maybe it's not heaven. But anyway, I'm enjoying myself. They printed off this list of the 3 trucks that they have that will have a back window that'll actually fit in the back of my cab. So I'm out here shopping for a back window. You see, it gets a little confusing for the human mind, and this is where the computers come into play and really help out with trying to find parts that'll fit your vehicle. You see, Dodge changed the body style on their half-ton pickups in 2001/2002, but they didn't change the bigger pickups, the 3/4 tons and the 1 tons, until after 2002 into 2003. And my truck is an 02 3/4 ton, so I have to look at the 97 through 99 half-ton pickups that they have here. Now I know you're thinking, okay, why didn't you just buy a new one? I called the auto glass companies and they said that there's actually a glass shortage right now and they're having a lot of trouble finding a new back window for my truck. How frustrating is that? So at first I was all excited and thought, oh yes, there's the window for me. It was the only one that had tinting on it. But if you get to looking, there's a bunch of bubbles in it. And this is just a really low quality stick-on tinting job done by an amateur. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess first I'm gonna try to get my diet squirt off this other truck and try to get out of here without getting stung. So here's one of the other donor trucks. Actually, this one's kind of scratched up a little bit. I'm not a fan of that window. Never mind. So here's the last truck that is in this boneyard that would actually work, and it's got a topper on it, so it's making it really hard to see if that back window's scratched up or not. I don't think it is. It definitely doesn't have any tinting on it like I want. I'm kind of afraid to open the door and really look. I'm afraid I might get a angry bunch of stinging insects coming out at me. That one actually looks pretty good. Well, those of you who've been following along on Instagram know what else I broke this week. Here's Grandpa's truck sitting up on the gooseneck trailer because it had to catch a ride home from our kayaking expedition on Saturday. We were on the way back. It started to run really rough and died alongside the road. I tried a couple of things alongside the road. I checked spark plug wires to make sure they weren't grounding out against the engine block. I checked a few other wiring issues. I checked vacuum lines, couldn't find anything obvious. I put the battery charger on this truck when I got it home and we got it started and it was still running very rough. And we were able to remove all but these 2 spark plug wires without changing the way the engine runs. This spark plug wire goes to the front cylinder on the left side. This spark plug wire goes to the front cylinder on the right side. I've got the coil wire removed right now for reasons that you will soon understand. Now the issue I suspected was a broken camshaft, given that the front 2 cylinders are contributing and the back 6 are not. I talked to a mechanic. The best way to confirm or deny what's going on here was to just pop a valve cover off and see if all the springs are moving when you turn the engine over. So that's what we're doing right now. I've got the left valve cover popped off. I can't take it clear off because there's some other accessories in the way, but we're gonna lift it up, stick the camera under there. I'm gonna have my expert mechanic, Kaylee, turn the key for me. That's why I've got the coil wire unplugged so it doesn't actually start. And we're gonna look at the valves and see if they're all moving. I hope they are, because it'd be really great if this was just something with the timing, if it wasn't a broken camshaft. So we'll see what we're up against. Kaylee, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, wait for my signal. I gotta get in position here.
What's the signal?
The signal is go. Okay, I gotta get the valve cover lifted up here. I'm not touching anything that's gonna chew my fingers off. All right, Kaylee, go. All right, stop. That's what I was afraid of. Bad news, mechanic Kaylee. The camshaft is broke. Grandpa's truck is dead. Well, dead for now until we can either put a different motor in it or rebuild this one. But that's not gonna be a project for this weekend, is it? These thistles that I kept meaning to spray all summer, but look how big they got. I mean, these things are huge. So I'm using my favorite herbicide, and it's called Batwing. I mean, we've tried 2,4-D, we've tried Crossbow, we've tried Grazon, but Batwing is by far my favorite. Works every time. I want to extend a special thank you to our good friend Rich for letting us use this outfit, because our little 6-foot bush hog would have taken for absolute ever to do this. And also the PTO shaft is broken. We need to put a new PTO shaft on it. But even if it was fixed, it would have taken a whole day maybe to do this. And I'm gonna get this done after work fairly easily. So thanks, Rich, it was a big help. The cows seem just a little bit confused. I think they'll be happy when it's done. They obviously aren't too scared. They are pretty tame animals. By the way, they are looking really good. Well, I'm just getting to the shop. The semi needs a new radiator, the Freightliner that is. So it looks like it's already in the shop. So I'm gonna start draining the antifreeze out and get ready to tear the old one out. I'll show you why we need to replace it. It's pretty ugly. Upon initial inspection, the radiator doesn't look terrible, but if you get around here to the other side, you look in here and you can see that all the fins are bent over, headed that direction. And it's pretty obvious as you look at this that somebody power washed this radiator from this side, from the back, and blew all the fins over that way. And the further down you go, you really can't see very good on the camera, but the further down you go, the worse it gets. I mean, there's some real damage. Unfortunately, these can't be straightened out and fixed, and it is really limiting the amount of air that can flow through the radiator. Let's begin. Okay, got a couple of really clean buckets. I just rinsed them out and made sure there was no contaminants in them. We look over here on the other side, there is a plug in the bottom of the radiator, but it looks like I might never get that out, and I definitely would never get it back in if I needed to stop the flow. So I'm going to take that new plug out of that new pipe on the other side. Now this is a pretty big plug, so I bet you it's gonna come out of here pretty quick. I'm gonna have to be ready. This might make a huge mess. I don't know, we'll find out. It's looking like it, isn't it? Boy, this is the fast way to do it for sure. I think we're ready to take it out. She's a hot one today. You want to grab it over there? All right. Look at this old thing. Oof. Not good. Well, I'm back from a pretty major parts run that I did this morning. Got everything rounded up that I need to put this thing back together, I think. I'm sure we'll find something along the way where it's like, maybe should have done that. But we pretty well did a good inspection of everything yesterday and found a few things that needed replaced. Of course, once we got the radiator out, we took the thermostat housing off because the outflow pipe was actually leaking where it comes out of the thermostat housing. And yeah, we'll get that cleaned up. We got a couple of new thermostats. I got a nice box of goodies here. A lot of the clamps were no good. We had to cut them off because they wouldn't come apart. So we got new clamps, got a couple new hoses there for the air-to-air. Got some seals here, got our new thermostats. We're pretty much ready to roll, I think. Okay, got our bottom mounting bracket on. There's a couple of rubber bushings, isolators they call them, that slide over there so that it doesn't get all the vibration from the frame. Then once we get it in the truck, we'll put that surge tank on top of it and just basically hook hoses back up. Remember, when operating power tools, there's no more important piece of safety equipment than these safety glasses. Well, I think we've got all the edges ground smooth, so now I just got to get this thing all cleaned out and make sure I get all the rust rinsed out of it that I got loosened up when I was cleaning it with that wire brush. Then we'll be about ready to, well, I keep saying we'll be about ready to put things together, but there's a lot more cleaning to do, I guess. Beautiful, Clark. So it's all put back together. I was not able to get as much footage of tearing it apart, putting it back together as I wanted to. I was just concentrating the whole time on paying attention to how everything was coming apart so we could get it put back together and not forget anything. It came apart really fast, so it was kind of stressful. Got everything put back together. The intercooler hung back on the front, the air conditioner there. We got some new boots, some new hoses and clamps and stuff. It is filled with antifreeze right now. We haven't found any leaks. That's a good sign. Let's fire it up. Maybe even run it down the road, get it up to temperature, and make sure everything's gonna be okay. Man, this thing is like a whole new machine with this new radiator. It's 86 degrees today, and it's just running right there about 180. It was always pushing 205 before. You know, I was pulling my loads to town early in the morning before it got above 75 degrees. So this has made a huge improvement. Well, that is really good. I can't find any leaks. Everything's fine. That squeaking sound that you heard earlier is just the louvers on the grill that are loose, shaking and squeaking around while it was idling. I need to get that addressed eventually, but it's not super important. I'm really happy that these O-rings on this outflow pipe, that metal 90-degree pipe right there where it goes into the smooth bore there on the thermostat housing, and then down there on the water pump. I'm glad that that is not leaking. That's not the water pump. Yeah, it is. Anyway, I'm not a truck mechanic, but here we are anyway. Just happy there's no leaks and everything seems to be working good. Look at these kids these days, always on their phones. I guess I'm on my phone right now, aren't I? Hey, we are on family vacation. I am riding in the passenger seat because I just got done editing this video that you're watching right now so I can get it posted for you guys. We're gonna take a trip here for 4 or 5 days and try to get away from normal life, enjoy a little time as a family, and see some people that we haven't seen in a long time and some people that we've never seen. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I would like to extend a special thanks to Ron, my buddy, for getting me this nice John Deere shirt. It actually might have been his wife that got it, so thanks, Mrs. Ron, if that's the case. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's a lot of stuff going on. It was just kind of a hodgepodge, a mess of things that have happened over the last few days. But I'm glad you were here. I hope to see you next time. That's not how I say it. Thanks for riding. Kaylee.
Should I say it? Thanks for riding along. We'll see you next time.